And we're back. What's good, Kenny?
Nothing much. Chilling. How about you?
Man, I can't complain, dude. Did you check out that speech last night from DET?
No.
It was
I
garbage.
avoid look, unless we doing the Tuesday shows, I stay away from that stuff. I may follow up on it on Wednesday to see if there's any other meta to add to any other videos. But other than that, I that's a Monday, Tuesday, and a partial bit of Wednesday thing for me. After that, I try to do things away from that space.
It was garbage. And with that said, we can jump right into some better news. So,
But
you put
not
me
better
up
news,
on
it's just
this.
more pop stuff.
Yeah, you put me up on this Supercell.
Yes.
I have a few opinions.
Okay, go
First,
ahead.
tell me what you thought of it, because I think
I
what you
like it.
thought of it, most people thought of it.
All right. What I liked it. I like sci-fi, superhero shit. I love all that stuff. I like the way it was written. I liked that it was in modern times. I like that it was not set in America. That kind of gave me a nice, refreshing flavor because it was over in the UK. So I liked it that they didn't have to deal with the exact same American isms and problems and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. The way they laid out the characters is kind of interesting, giving them their backstory, how one thing happens to one person and they're trying to figure out everything, but then people are going on with their regular day-to-day lives and not caring or understanding what's really going on and trying to keep mums about certain of the powers and stuff that they are getting. And even when the one gentleman is trying to get everybody together, it's like, no, I'm a nurse. This is not me. Or I'm a drug dealer. This is not me. Or well, the one dude, I'm a delivery person, but apparently I'm supposed to be doing something with this gift I've been given. So I like it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. This is season one. My only, I would even say, remotely negative critique is I hope that Netflix decides to give them a better budget so that the effects and stuff can be up to par with a lot of other more prominent superhero shows. So I'll stop right there and figure what you got.
All right, so I can't say I was the biggest fan of it. I
Okay.
didn't like the writing. I thought it was annoying that the main character refused to tell his girlfriend that she was going to die on July 9th, even
Hmm.
after meeting with the other guy that told him about the butterfly effect, and
Hmm.
that it was probably in his best interest to say something. Look, he had a they started off the show with this beautiful relationship, and then he
Hmm.
just destroys it for the rest of the show. He doesn't talk to her. He doesn't keep her. He makes her put herself in danger by withholding information from her. That's what really annoyed me the most about it, was that that's what happens in real life. If you restrict access to information, you're putting people in danger. And the fact that he consciously did this in the concept that he's going to keep her safe, it just wasn't going to happen. Because once she had an inkling of something happened to him, she was going to go and investigate it and put herself in danger.
Yeah,
And she
and
was
that's
literally,
what happened.
yeah, and she was literally, but they didn't add anything to the story. She got fridged pretty much. They didn't make the story more interesting with her death. They didn't make her story more interesting with her input. What her biggest thing was, she acquired the information of where that building was. Even if she hadn't, they were already outside of it. They were there already because that's where the other guy told them to go.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she did all this stuff. She used her social working detective skills, which would have been interesting because she could have been a Batman in the group. No
Well, she
special
not
powers, but she could have been a Batman. She could have been
okay. I
Batman.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You're trying to give. See, I didn't focus on the story was around her per se. In my opinion, it was
It
around
was
him.
the whole
But
story is pivotal to her, because
yes, it
all
is
his
pivotal.
motivations is not driven because he got a superpower. It's not driven because he went to the future. It was to protect her.
Yeah,
And so, if now that you have her as a prominent figure, you can write her much better. She could be your Vicky Vale or your April from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She was a social worker.
uh huh.
She's Batman, but it was irrelevant because the gang member had already led them there. And crazy, was one of them anyway. So they would have ended up outside that building without her doing any of those scenes. You could have cut her scenes out,
Mhm.
cut her character out. You could cut the scenes out that she was in, keep her in her house, and the story doesn't change. And this is what I'm talking about with writing, man. Writing is so pivotal for me because I'm such a logical and I'm a person driven by logic and conviction, right? So with logic and conviction, your actions need to make sense and you need to be following some set of convictions. If his convictions was to protect her, fine, right? But then it still doesn't make sense because to protect you, I'm gonna give you as much information as possible, not
Mhm.
withhold information and then watch you walk right into a gunfight.
Yeah,
And that's
I
what she
mean,
did. She
I,
was
s- I see your point.
she
Well, I
drove to the
see.
gunfight unknowingly because
Yeah.
this
So what I'm gonna
asshole
say is, I see your point, but I think if we're stripping it down to the way the writing is,
it's
yes, the
bad
story
writing.
does
There's no
seem.
defending it.
There's no what.
It's just bad writing. There's no defending that.
So,
It's just bad writing.
well, I will defend it this way. To me, it's still a refreshing, different story. I
That's not
understand that if you want to
now.
put it on,
I mean, was it though? All right,
I
let's
mean, it
the
was.
next part. It was a
It's
new
not the
story.
normal
Who's in
superhero
charge?
trope.
Who's in charge of all these black bodies?
I mean, who's in charge
White
of all these
people,
white
right?
bodies?
White
Wait, where are
people.
you going
White
with this?
people are running everything. For instance, Crazy has all these powers, yet he's under the thumb of some white dude. What
Yeah.
this you know what I'm saying? There's no freedom here. It's the slave trade, dude. It was just slavery. It was you can have powers. No,
Hmm.
you can have powers, but you're still a slave to whiteness. So any decisions you make, they control it. That's not
Yeah, but it was
superheroes.
based on the money. What I'm saying about it is refreshing is it is not a superhero team or a group of superheroes with the one random black person, or one random minority, the one
No,
random
it was just a
Latino
bunch of
person.
it was a bunch of powerful black people who couldn't do anything to stop some white people who had no
But
powers.
they're not aware
They
that the
still
white people exist yet,
no,
though.
but
That's
they
the thing.
are though. They are. They don't
They're
know who it
not,
is.
because
Put up.
all
They
they
may
knew is
not.
that they were fighting crazy, and they thought he
Crazy
was the
did.
person at the top.
Crazy knows who it is. The
Yeah,
guy.
crazy, but he's not a good person.
Hold,
He's the bad person.
but Kenny, neither is the other gang member. He's not a good person, but he's supposed to be on the good side, right?
Yeah,
All right. So
but that's like
so that
they're
doesn't that
playing
doesn't
him in
fly.
more of like the
So you're
anti-hero.
telling me Crazy has these powers, gets
Mhm.
out and decides to work and be under the control of a white person with no power.
That's what happened in the story. Yes, that's what happened.
That's bull. That's where even my girl said, "Look, my girl doesn't usually like my girl can watch these TV shows
Hmm.
and let her mind just wander off and enjoy it." Even she was like, "This was stupid. I did not like the end of this." She said, "Why
Okay.
is the white guy in charge of some black people with superpowers?" And then they go and consciously give themselves to him because he might do something to somebody. Andre sold out so quickly. He's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, we'll give you a job, we'll give you money," and that was
Yeah.
enough for him to kill other black people. Listen, I need you to go out and round up other slaves.
Yeah.
This is a
Okay.
slave trade. This is literally
If,
the
if we're
Underground
overrating
Railroad.
with
Hold up, no,
the concept of the slave trade, then yeah, Andre
yeah, no,
did
this is
do
the
the most
Underground
weirdest thing to
Railroad.
me. But it was purpose
Some
of he
slaves
wanted to be able to have
escaped.
money for his son and all that stuff. So
So
he was under
what? You
unfortunate stress. So he
no,
made a
Kenny,
decision.
no. I disagree because this is what if even if he had decided he was all right, fuck the system. They don't want to give me a job. I'm gonna take my money. Everybody watching it will understand it. Him going and working for some white guy who's telling him to round up black people is not going to fly. That's a sellout. He's a
Oh,
Candace Owens.
okay, fine. He
For
is a
some
kid
money,
going.
he
But that's my
decided to
whole
be
thing.
Candace
Like,
Owens.
all right, so if you're Andre, you get fired from a job because you had a bad thing on your record and everything, and you can't do anything, and you get these
I'm
powers.
not going to go and round up other black people. I'm going to go and break these machines open and keep doing what I do.
So you
Because
just
guess
gonna
what?
be the
No, because
ATM
guess
question
what,
then.
Kenny?
Mhm.
The people watching it are going to understand it. They're going to be like, yeah, you ain't giving him no other choices. They're not going to go, oh, he's a bad person. They're gonna go, yeah, he got to take care of himself. If you're gonna walk into his, they already set it up. The guys walked in his house and took his money.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else would be like, fight back. Any white person watching that is gonna say fight back. Any black person's watching that's gonna say fight back. The fact that he allowed them to walk out with that money and he has the power to kill them and make them disappear, nobody's gonna call and question that. Because you know what white people live by.
Hold on. And so you're saying that if he had, because he had the power, he should have just killed them over. He should have just
killed those guys. And then just took their body somewhere. Nobody would have said nothing.
What do you mean? He killed two things that were sent to collect us.
Okay, so it's okay for him to not kill two white guys, but it's okay for him to bring black people for them to do experiments on. That works for you.
But this is what I'm saying. The two people that showed up, the constables, whatever they call them over there, when they showed up, they're there to collect the debt. He owed a debt.
So what? America, this is...
This is not in America. This is not America.
No, hold up. Even in England, there's inequality.
Yeah.
You act like in England, they would be like, yeah, that's okay. No, they would be against that. So to say this guy has superpowers, and so this is the biggest problem with the Marvels, right? This is why, listen, I'm gonna give you, just listen. So this is the problem with Captain America and Iron Man and all of these characters. They always defend the status quo. They don't change anything. You have all these powers, but they don't make the life better for the average person. Their existence is literally to contain and defend the status quo. That's why it doesn't work.
Okay.
Like the only time they did anything for the regular person was in destroying Thanos. Outside of that, every superhero movie was to defend and support the status quo. And so this is no different because these guys had the opportunity to fuck up the status quo. The day those dudes walked in the house, if Andre knocked them all out, it would have been the first time in any superhero story that the superhero said, nah, we're not playing that game no more. You're not going to walk in my door and take my wealth when you won't allow me to get a job. When I can't get a job, after I pay my debt to society, I can't get a job now, and you're going to be like, you're going to take what I have. No more. That's not happening anymore. And then these superheroes go about deconstructing the status quo. But they won't make that movie. You know why they won't make that movie? Because every film is about defending the status quo. Like, there was nothing good here. Like, other than putting black faces in here, the black faces did nothing different than the white faces in Marvel. Their whole existence was either selfish, where the guy's selling drugs with his friend because he's speedy. So 5 minutes, even though his buddy keeps saying, you should use your powers for good. Nah, man, I'm good. All right? Andre has the ability to protect his whole family and get paid, and he doesn't. When his son's knocking on the door, this motherfucker sleep on the sofa. He ain't a good dad. He literally said, I thought about you every single day. Yet we see him do nothing with his son. He gets out of prison. He finds out he has powers. He has his ability to get this cash. He can create his own thing. All this money, he has what? He had a lot of money. He could have started his own business.
That money was not acquired.
With that money, Kenny, with that money, he could have started his own thing. He could have started his own business. He could have started a hot dog thing. And it's so hot dogs.
Yes.
No,
so there's 1,000 possibilities that any of these characters could have took down another road.
Look, no, because you're a writer, anything's possible, right? So why didn't they do that? You know why they didn't do that? Because that's not the story they're trying to tell. They're not trying to tell.
And that's the key part. If they're not trying to tell that story, that's what I'm trying to say. But based upon the show, did you like it or not? That's what I'm trying to get to. Did you like it or not?
No, I get to shoot this shit down, man. I'm gonna tell you all the problems with this, and you can't defend them because it's bad.
I just like the show. That's what I'm asking you. Did you like the show or not? That's easy.
No, I didn't like the show, but
okay.
I also want to continue.
What I want to know.
I want to take this show apart. So then you have all these black people with all these powers stuck, experimented on. Now, Black Americans know the Tuskegee Project. So what we
Mhm.
watching? A white guy's, jerk off dream of replacing black people in captivity?
Oh,
I
this
want
was
you to
written
go
by a
out and
black person.
round them up.
The
Dude, this
writer
was
is a black
not
person. The
good. It's
showrunner
not
is a
good
black man.
film.
The
I
showrunner is a
did
black man.
not care for this. And the
Okay.
people saying that this was good, they lack the imagination to see a different world. Because now we finally got, Black Panther is 10,000 times better than this. And Black Panther didn't, they didn't get the opportunity to make the changes that I hope they do in future shows. But right here, it didn't happen. Supacell was the Underground Railroad of finding black escaped slaves so white people can do experiments on them. And then the black people who are paid to go out there, be Candace Owens, and round them up. And somehow this is a good story. We got a black guy who has a beautiful relationship and he blows it up because he can't tell his girl the truth.
Mm-hmm.
We got a black dad who gets out of prison, pays his time, claims he wants to beat it for his son, and then whenever we see him need to beat it for his son, he ain't there, sleeping on the couch. Now he has mad money, he has the ability to defend himself, make these people disappear. If he beat those dudes' asses and put them in a track somewhere, no one would have believed that they would be like, oh, these guys got hit by a car. That's how they died. Because their bodies are so damaged.
To me, the part of that one scene you keep bringing up is like they were doing their job.
So what?
Okay.
So were the Nazis, Kenny.
So, that's the line.
That's the craziest thing they said.
But this is what it is.
Who's also doing their jobs? Kenny, you know who's also doing their jobs? Cops when they kill black people. You know who's doing their jobs? You know who's doing
my
their
thing
jobs
is,
that day, Kenny? Hold on, let me stop
this
you.
is where you get this is where it gets weird because you're gonna just jump and make it a super radical thing where this person now, he has a debt. You should just get rid of them. That's crazy.
If you choose to be a part of a system that disenfranchises people from their lives, when that system flips on you, deserve what happens to you. You're not a victim. Those cops decided that they thought it was okay to walk in people's houses who have nothing and take what little they have. The fact when the system flips on you, you deserve death because you're disenfranchising that your average person. Just because you call it doing my job, you know who says that? Every person who's working for a monster. Right now, some person in Israel is killing babies and mothers and saying he's doing his job.
And somebody in America that's listening to service is doing something and saying, I'm doing my job for America too, and they get awards and commemorations for it. So it's the same thing.
And when justice comes for you, you're not a victim. Know that what you were doing, you know what you're doing is wrong. You can hide behind the line, it's my job, all you want. But when the system flips on you, there's no protecting you. You can't go, well, it was my job. Yes, it was. You chose. There are a million jobs out there to do, Kenny. You don't have to do that one.
So people enlist in the service, and we claim that we do a good job for America. That is still the same thing. So we can overlay it, underlay it, micro manage it, see it from the high ground. It's still the same thing.
And when that system flips on me, I'm not a victim.
Okay.
That's my whole point. So there's no hiding behind that.
So either way, you did not like the show. There was no value in it. You did not get any moment of escapism. There was no good scenes, no good lines.
Kenny, how can there be good scenes?
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
The whole premise of the story is about destroying. Like, Crazy got out of jail, and his whole thing was to go back and sell drugs and exploit black and brown people. He got powers. He could use these powers to do anything. But his only choice, for instance, Iron Man. He found out that he could create these suits. What's the first thing Iron Man does?
What do you mean when? He escapes. That's the first thing.
Iron Man escapes. What's the first thing he does?
Oh, he goes back and get the people that lock him up. Or had him plug captive.
No. The first thing he does when he returns to the States is to tear down his business. He literally goes, I am no longer selling weapons
Oh,
of
the
mass
weapons. Okay.
destruction.
I thought you meant
Okay,
ad timing,
now
but that's cool. Sorry.
Crazy
Okay.
gets powers, and the first thing he does is, I'm going to sell drugs to black and brown people. I'm going to corrupt young black men, and I'm going to exploit everyone around me.
Okay.
So what they're saying about black people in this is that when black people get powers, they lack the ability to be anything other than a criminal.
I don't know if that's the whole thing,
That's
but
exactly what happens.
it will lead to, if you want a story to reflect like that, then that's the story that you should write. If that's the entertainment that you would
This
find, then
is
that's the story
hold
that
up.
you would have to write
Somebody
then.
got money. Hold up. Somebody got money, but the people who should okay, who I'm gonna look up right now. Who are the writers of Supercell? I'm gonna look it up.
It's Ratman. His story was inspired by the habits of George Floyd also.
No. Who is the producers and directors of the TV show?
Oh, that's whoever works at Netflix.
I'm about to look it up.
People, and directors is just one together.
Are the writers and director for Supercell? I bet you some white people.
Okay.
Let's look it up.
Look, because it would be different if BET or whatever other network that would be promoting another type of story that you are wanting to see.
All I'm saying is I want proper representation, but this ain't it.
Well, that would be the thing that you would have to do. If you want that story, you have to make that story.
But Kenny, why is it that I gotta make that story when you?
Because that's the story you want to see.
See, that's
that
bullshit,
is the story
man.
that you want to see. Why is it?
Bullshit.
I would say that's the story you want to see. All right, we can move on from Supercell because you cannot enjoy it or like it.
Who Anna Ferguson is the producer of this show, so we're gonna find out who she is. We're gonna pull this out, man. Because I got the right to call this out, man. I have the right to do it. You don't get to put it to rest because you don't want to engage with it. That's
well, I'm doing it for the sake of time for the show because we're already 20 minutes in.
We got 25 more minutes, and we got 2 more things to talk about. Come on, it ain't gonna take that much time.
No,
this is gonna be our longest conversation.
Okay, go.
Okay, so the writer and lead director, Ratman, who serves as showrunner, writer, and so Ratman, this black guy, is the writer, showrunner, and lead director, and this is the best he could do for us. Was a more black exploitation.
Well, that's what he wanted to do.
I am pretty disgusted that this man right here, who I guess is playing Andre on the show. No, it's not Andre. Let me new slide. Let me put his face up here so people can see it. Take this, put it over there so people can see his face. So this man right here, he is the writer, producer, and director of this show. And the best he could do was put white people as slave owners and the black people as experiments. That's what we get. This dude's cooning, man. A real word. This dude.
That's how you feel. Then that's how you feel.
That's what it
was.
My
retort would be.
Shoot this dude down, man. This is so.
But if that's
unsatisfying.
I disagree. But if you want a show that reflects what you think it should be, then that's the show you have to write. Then
you think the way black people were portrayed on here was okay?
Yes, because they were reflecting more realistic times and realistic situations that people actually live in.
Kenny, I exist.
Yeah, you don't live in the same world that most other people live in, too. You don't live in my world. I don't live in yours.
There's 1 million black voices just like mine.
Okay, then how come they're not coming up with the same stories the way you want to see them?
Representation of something else.
So how come they're not? So how come they're not coming up with the stories that you want to see in here?
Kenny, again, why is there only one representation of blackness allowed to be in media? Why do you think it's okay? And why do you come to me and say I should produce that when I don't get that opportunity? I'm not Ratman.
Okay, so there you go. Because he wanted to tell a story a certain.
So Ratman says that I don't exist.
No, he's telling his story the way he wants to tell it. That's
No,
his
and
story.
I get to shoot his story down. I get
Yes,
to
I'm
say
not
his
disagreeing
shit.
with it, but I'm just saying if these are the stories that you dislike, then how come you're not finding the people to make the stories that you do like or create the stories yourself?
Because Hollywood only wants one representation of blackness.
Okay.
Those that hold up the status quo. It's just like, why did they redo Good Times? We don't need that. Netflix took and cooned us out. Good Times was about positivity, and what they did was turn it into a black exploitation animation story that demeans blackness. We had Blackish, and ABC and Disney destroyed it because they didn't want that representation of us.
Okay.
This is what we get is a we have Black Panther. We don't need this. We don't need this. Who is this
I like
for?
I like very, very different stories from different perspectives and different ways of telling a story, whether it is a world that I
You
understand or
like
a world that I don't
stories
understand.
that hold up the status quo. That's
Fine.
fine.
Because I still find enjoyment and entertainment in it. If
You
you don't, then
find
that's fine
no,
too.
you find enjoyment in exploitation, and that's fine.
Yes, I know it's
Don't
fine. I can
say
tell you it's fine because I
don't say
find
when I
entertainment and
call it
enjoyment in
out
it.
that I'm being the odd one. This is not something we should even have. And with this
Okay,
said, we just move on.
that's
Cause
how you
here
feel
we go.
about it.
We're gonna talk about Deadpool,
Okay, what?
who was a merc with the mouth, who was a bad guy. He went and killed people, and when he got powers, his whole thing was about protecting others. Again,
Um,
white people can do bad things, and then suddenly when they receive powers, their whole thing's about protecting others and uplifting others and saving other people's lives. And that to you is normal because you would never see a show where Deadpool's a superhero and he's taking white people and putting them into captivity so they can get experiment on. You know who
that
that
does
guy
exist.
is? In every
That does
story,
exist.
Kitty,
That does
that
exist.
guy is the villain. He's
Well,
never the superhero.
in the movie or that's coming out, remember he's going to begin to work for the TVA. The whole TVA is to take other mutants and get rid of them, especially if they mess up the
That's not
timeline. It's the
that's
same
not the
concept.
TVA. By the time he becomes part of the TVA is different. So what are
It's
you
still the
talking
TVA,
about?
and what is their job that they do?
The TVA is now protecting the timeline. What are you talking? Did you watch Loki?
Wait, so what are they doing?
Now Loki's in charge of the TVA. The TVA is about protecting the timeline against people who are trying to destroy it.
And what is Deadpool's job going to be in the TVA?
In the TVA, he's to go out and protect the timeline from those trying to destroy it. That's it.
Yeah. So in this, he's still doing the same thing as
He's
in he's
not.
going
Did,
and destroying
did
and
you watch
protecting it from
Loki?
other mutants,
Kenny,
or
did you
not
watch
mutants because they're not
Loki?
really mutants though. Protecting it
Did
from
you
other
watch
heroes who are messing.
Loki? Did you
Yes,
watch Loki?
yes.
Okay, so what's the TVA doing at the end of Loki?
They were managing the timeline that Loki was holding together.
Okay, and
And
so who
now
are they managing the timeline against?
other people with special powers, just like
No,
Deadpool, which
no,
his job is going to be
no,
go out there.
nope. That's
Wait, so who are
not
they
who they're
managing
protecting
against?
it against. They're protecting it against he who remains and the people he put out there to corrupt the timeline.
I'll let you have this one because I don't know
That's
where you.
not that's what they're
I will
doing.
let
What are
you
you
have this one.
talking
I will
about?
let you have this one because
You're no longer
apparently me and you watch different shows, or actually no,
hold up.
me and you see
Before
shows differently.
Loki took the TVA over, who were they fighting against?
Like when Loki took the TVA
Before
over,
Loki took over the TVA, what were they doing?
they were pruning timelines when somebody becomes
Not
a
somebody,
variant.
a somebody. Who was that somebody?
It could be anybody.
It wasn't anybody. It was Loki.
No,
Loki
dude.
had started going out. Look, the female Loki had escaped and started
I
destroying
was,
the timelines. And they were out there trying to capture her. And she was trying to destroy the TVA. When Loki shows up, on there, the male Loki shows up, he who remains says, all right, since I can't get her, this is what I'll do. You and her will go and take over the TVA, and you guys will run it. And since I'm the threat to it, You guys run it. But she decided to kill He Who Remains, throwing all the timelines into jeopardy, and then all the time, the main timeline started falling apart because all these other timelines started happening. Loki said, with the other female Loki says, no, those timelines have the right to exist. So he took the throne and took all the timelines and held on to them so they could all exist. The new TVA is about protecting all the timelines. So when you say what you just said does not line up.
Okay,
So where his new,
whatever it
so
is you think
going,
you got it.
no. So it literally at the the trailer, they literally go, "We need you to go get Wolverine because he did something that protected the timelines at some point." So again, he's not going out there to kill some people. He went out there to find Wolverine to protect a certain timeline. So again, you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
And
whatever.
you do this
Hey,
all
if
the
anybody
time.
out here reads or pays attention to the movies in the timeline that they're telling, please add it to the comment because he's not going to believe what I'm going to say anyway. So,
Kenny,
with
it's
that
not
being
believe what
said,
you
the
said.
biggest thing,
Kenny, you just said something that was wrong.
no, you're not
They
listening. So
literally in the
we're past that. We're
literally.
past that.
What did they
Anyway,
say? They said, Deadpool, we need you to go find Wolverine because he did something that protected the timeline and he knows how to do it. Go find him.
we will see when the movie comes out.
That's
Because if
we're
that's
in the
what you
trailer
got
right
from somewhere,
now.
then we'll see. But the biggest thing, the reason we brought this up is because in the Deadpool trailer, the last one, the final one, because Deadpool comes out, when does it come out? July, next week, right? Next week.
Yeah.
And at the end of the trailer, there is a surprise. X-23 pops up. If y'all don't know her, she was the Wolverine experiment in Logan, Old Man Logan. He basically adopted her because she is part of the Weapon X program. And in the future, she becomes Wolverine. This is more canon for the comic book side, but she does pop up in here. So they are trying to reprise her character, which is the whole thing about them bringing all the different realities together. And eventually she becomes Lady Deadpool, but we have yet to see if that's really going to happen and how that all goes about. And most people forget or don't remember that Deadpool is also part of the Weapon X program from the comic books with Wolverine, Sabretooth, and all them other ones who have the healing factor. So that's where they all got it from. So this trailer just dropped. I like it because it gives that whole summer blockbuster movie feel, all the big music and all that stuff, the special cutscenes, the effects. And then it ends with Deadpool irritating the hell out of Wolverine by going pew pew pew. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
I may decide
I
to go
look
to the
forward
movies.
to it.
I may decide to go to the movies and see this one.
Yeah. And so with that next one, let's see. I had the lyrics pulled up here. Let me just Kenny got me all messed up. Let's see.
So while he gets that pulled up, if you don't know, Eminem dropped his latest album. It was called "The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace." So basically, off of my initial listen, he is basically doing his thing where he is battling with his alter ego, Slim Shady. They're going back and forth, with him putting it in perspective of he knew he couldn't accomplish certain things without the creation of Slim Shady, who is the one version of Eminem, as he says, that gets away with saying all these outlandish, crazy, trigger warning, offensive, unpolitically correct things in comparison to Marshall Mathers, who Eminem says he really is, in comparison to Eminem, as that who he claims as himself as the rapper. So off of my initial listen, it was really cool. The one thing that stood out the most to me is the bars that he was dropping against Diddy and the way he told the story. And there's actually a bunch of back history. I can't find that article. I can't find it. Of where basically Eminem has never liked it, P. Diddy. And also because he's part of that camp with 50 Cent. 50 Cent has never liked Diddy. So it's kind of an interesting thing. But Eminem did really go hard as Slim Shady attacking Diddy the Diddler. So what did you think on your listen?
I mean, it was fine. I mean, it was a good album. But I'm gonna read the lyrics here. So, you know, trigger warning for anybody who's who's scared of these rap lyrics. They're not that bad, but he does use the R.I.P word. So So it pretty much starts with, he says, we can just say what? I'm like a raper. But he said like rapper. Yeah. He says, got so many sasas. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out the P, did he?
Well, that's
Rest in peace, Biggie and Pac. Both y'all should be living, yep. But I ain't trying to beef with him. Nope. Cause he might put a hit on me like Keith D get him. And that's the only way you're gonna be killing me. Nah, ain't gonna be on a beat, silly. I beat the beat silly. On the grind like teeth gritting. Call me obesity. So pretty much he called Diddy a rapist. And he also called out the fact that there are allegations that Diddy had Pac assassinated, which is probably true. And hopefully at some point, Diddy will be held accountable for creating that situation that got Pac killed and then got Biggie killed in retaliation. Because both of them should still be here. The album was okay. I liked it. It's an Eminem album. So
Did you have any favorite song or anything?
I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite song. I don't. But
all right, well,
I
my
kind of
favorite song
love rap by now, so.
All right. Well, my favorite song off the album is Toby. That is a song featuring Big Sean and Baby Tron. And the chorus is pretty cool because it's basically off of the Toby Maguire, who basically the verse goes, or the chorus goes, which is written by Baby Tron. He goes, Toby Maguire got bit by a spider. I must have got bit by a goat, because they're all saying that they are the greatest rappers of all time. And that was the whole thing, that Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, bit by a spider. However, there's the greatest of all time. So they all say they got bit by a goat. That's my favorite thing. Big Sean kills it, Baby Tron kills it, and Eminem definitely kills it. So if y'all haven't had a chance to listen to it, check out Eminem's The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. My pick for the song is Toby. And other than that, a bunch of bars were thrown at Sean Diddy Combs. So good listen, fun music. If you like rapidy rap stuff, that's where you can go and get it. What we got next?
All right, hold on. Let me do one thing though, just in case. Come on now.
Well, while D works on that, if you are here as usual, please come over and follow us on our new YouTube page for Dianoia Stirring It Up. We are rebuilding at this current time. So if you like the show, enjoy it, please hit that like button, leave us a comment in the comments. And yeah, jump in the chat. The chat is always open. Just less more chat involved. But if you have a good question or concern, we can pull it up and address you as such, and get your input, get your take, your ideas, your flavor, whatever it is. If you've heard the Eminem album, or if you've seen anything with any of the shows or movies we're discussing, if you have any thoughts, just let us know.
So those are the lyrics. Those are the things he was saying. These were his lyrics against P. Diddy. So we can put that on the screen. With that said, we move on to the next subject here, which is HelloKitty is not a cat.
Yes.
So what the hell is she then?
That is yet to be determined. But so this is a big thing that's trending right now, because it's coming up on HelloKitty's 50th golden anniversary.
How is her name HelloKitty?
Dude, I don't know. I always thought it was a cat. I always thought it was a cat too. But the actual creator, Yuko Shimizu creation, that shot up in pop culture in the 1970s, basically says no, Hello Kitty is not a cat. The actual name of the character is Kitty White. That is, and also Hello Kitty is not Japanese either. So that's what the actual creator is
breaking my brain.
Yeah, but that was the creator is saying. So a lot of people are in a tizzy, because even me, I always assumed Hello Kitty was a cat, and it's a thing that, like, my little niece, she loves it. My brother actually did art on her Air Force Ones for it, but apparently Hello Kitty is not a cat according to the actual creator, and Hello Kitty is not Japanese either. So that is the most interesting thing, and Hello Kitty's full name is Kitty White. So take it as you may, but right now that is the big thing that's trending around the internet, especially because the 50th anniversary is coming up. Got any thoughts, ideas, or anything on this?
Maybe she's a mouse?
I do not know what she is. I'm not even sure if it's a she. I don't even want to go that far now.
Well, I mean, it is a mouse. It looks like a mouse. If you told me it wasn't a cat, I would think it's a mouse. Or maybe a bear.
I don't know. But the mystery or the whole riddle of it is that the creator would not say exactly what Hello Kitty is. So it adds to
Well,
the alluringness, the mystery of it all. So just something funny that everybody is in a tizzy. And I could have sworn that this happened like a couple of years ago when they had made mention of this, and I think people just brushed it up under the rug. But I guess it's something that if you have a character that you create and you want it to always get a good pull, and you let some of the things that people just assume go by, but if you ever want to throw like a little razzle dazzle into it, you just say, "Oh yeah, it's not a cat." Then you're like, "But it's Hello Kitty." Oh no, the name is Kitty White. Oh, so what is it?
very weird.
But you would never know.
All right, Kenny. And with that said, we have our last thing here. We'll loom right over to my guy here. Give us some
So yeah,
background information.
so Bob Newhart, unfortunately, he passed at the age of 94. It was after a bunch of series of short illnesses. Bob Newhart, he was a comedian actor who rose to fame in the 1960s. He's known for his dry wit and observational humor, and often delivered in a stand-up routines that featured him using a telephone as a prop. He dropped a comedy album back in the 1960s called The Button Down Mind of Bob Newhart. He also had two successful sitcoms, both of them titled The Bob Newhart Show. So that's how relevant he was. Um, in my world, I know some of my older generations would watch the Bob Newhart Show. The thing I associated with this gentleman is he reminds me of the shows I used to watch because I am a big Seinfeld fan. Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm is very that much dry pan humor of this is what I observe, this is what I'm saying, and that's kind of what it is. And he was really good at it. But he was like one of the first people I recall as a comedian that would make the jokes about reality things in the way they were, but how people couldn't deal with it just because you can deal with things a certain way. So R.I.P. to a legend. Bob Newhart passed away age 94. Oh, wait.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys coming through for the day. Like, share, subscribe. And with that said, Kenny, take us out.
Oh yeah, so shout out to everybody that's over on Facebook, Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. If you don't know, all of our other platforms are generally the same: Kick, Twitch, and Facebook. However, we do have two different YouTube channels now. We have Dianoia's Live, which we air on Tuesdays at 11:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 Pacific Time. That show is more political and more of a current event show in nature of what's going on, more of in-depth hot topics that involve you and your daily day-to-day life. Our show that we do today on Fridays is Staring It Up. This is more of our pop culture show: music, TV shows, movies, and things of that nature. Anything that's trending and strictly in the pop culture realm that people can just get their escapism and fantasies out and dreams and all that good stuff. With that being said, I would like to say thank y'all all for being here. And as Dee said, this is Dianoia. I'm Kenny with Dianoia, and we are out.